Private members' business item number 313, standing in the name of Ms Munro, relating to the rental vacancy audit.
The Honourable Jackie Munro.
This is an aggressive one. Yeah. Thanks for the encouragement. Thank you, Mr. Assistant President. I move item number 313 standing in my name. And I'm very pleased that this motion has been able to come to the House, because I think it is part of a suite of measures and a critical step to understanding the current housing and planning landscape that we find ourselves in, because to make meaningful policy in this space, we of course need to understand from whence we came. And if we don't understand how land is being utilised, really how can we adequately plan for the future? This is not intended to be a political motion. It is about the people of New South Wales having confidence that this government, and obviously if we were in government we would have to do the same thing, is making policy for reality. And why is this important? The current situation is that there is a lack of clarity about how residential properties and dwellings are being used. At the moment, say there are roughly 400,000 dwellings in New South Wales, a little less, but it's easier for the maths. There are estimated by ABS data sets taken in the census that it's about a 10% vacancy rate. So that's 400,000 homes in New South Wales. There are different measures as to how that can be broken down in terms of what actually constitutes a vacancy. Because of course 400,000 vacant homes is really a lot of homes when we consider that we have tens of thousands of people on the housing waiting list, when we consider that there are possibly 200,000 people that are really on the edge of homelessness or would be eligible for social and affordable housing that are not currently accessing those services. 400,000 could go a long way to actually housing people who need it. But because we don't actually understand in great detail exactly how those vacancies are broken down, because of course some of them might be short-term rentals, some of them might be investment properties from buyers overseas, some of them might be truly vacant. The problem is we don't know. There are some estimates by private organisations. SGS Economics suggests that perhaps of that 10% are true vacancies. So that would be 1% of the total, which is about 40,000 truly vacant homes in New South Wales. Still quite a lot. The thing is, we don't really know, and there has been some new data come out since I originally put this motion that suggests that 1% figure is possibly accurate if you consider electricity use statistics, and the ABS are endeavouring to use as much information as they can through electricity companies to actually estimate that. But the data that they've put out is based on 2021 data to try to ensure that it's able to be essentially cross-referenced with the census data that they already have. So this is still a data set that they're refining. It's very new. And the reason that I believe this is so important for the New South Wales government is that there have been new targets placed on our housing building requirements. So the National Housing Accord, I think it's 387,000 houses that have to be built by 2029. At the moment, the Department of Planning suggests that we are on track to build perhaps half of that by the end of 2026. So there needs to be a lot of work done to actually understand how we can deliver that huge increase in housing. We, as a population, we're expected to grow by 1 million people in Greater Sydney by 2041. The reality is that we need to understand what's on the ground and how we're actually using our space and our land before we can make a real start on how we deliver new housing. So the The cumulative shortfall that we're facing at the moment in New South Wales is around 95,000 by some estimates. There's been some work done about the difference between population projections and building commencements. The reality is that building commencements, building completions, building approvals, they're all declining currently. So there needs to be a lot of work done to address that side of how we actually get people into homes as our population grows. But as I said, I think this is so important because this is at the start of how we plan and how we use our land in New South Wales. Well, thank you everybody for your contributions and for your support of the motion. I'd like to thank the Honourable Rose Jackson, the Honourable Scott Farlow, the Honourable Cameron Murphy, the Honourable Sarah Kane, the Honourable Emily Saval, the Honourable Wes Fang, the Honourable Bob Nanva and the Honourable Stephen Lawrence. It seems like it was the Clayton's political speech, the political speech you have when you're not having a political speech, was on show tonight. And I just wanted to acknowledge some of the things that the Coalition did when we were in government. Yes, I was not a member of that government, but under the Coalition, over $9 billion was invested in housing over the past 10 years. The Coalition delivered the largest social housing portfolio of any jurisdiction in this country, larger than Victoria and Queensland combined. New South Wales' social housing portfolio increased by 10% over the last 10 years with the Coalition in government, which is 4% ahead of the national total. In New South Wales, we have over 154,000 properties. The next best state is Victoria with 76,000 properties. I could go on. The reality is that, as has been said, there is no silver bullet. As I said in my inaugural speech, I believe very firmly in private property rights. This is about ensuring that our policy is based on reality and ensuring that our policy understands the ways that people are using their dwellings in New South Wales because there is a housing crisis, whether it's renting or buying. Unfortunately, the government decided to scrap the very good idea of introducing optional land tax in favour of stamp duty, which was taken up with great enthusiasm by thousands of first home buyers. Unfortunately, the government called that tax a forever tax on your family home, and it flies in the face of good policy making, which treasuries over the years, Ken Henry, have argued that land tax is a way to smooth out our housing system, smooth out supply and have better fairness in access and affordability to housing. So that was a really, really sad moment for this state when that policy was scrapped. I also wanted to make the point in Portfolio Committee 7, in which I'm a member, the Honourable Scott Farlow and I made a dissenting report about the application of infrastructure charges, because the reality is that if you are making homes more expensive to build, they will be more expensive to buy. And the change that was made as a result, or the dissenting report that we gave, will actually no. I acknowge that interjection.
Order! Aren't we all agreeing to this? Continue on, Ms Munro.
The reality is, could I please have an extension of 30 seconds?
You have to seek leave.
May I seek leave for an extension of 30 seconds?
Yes. Leave is granted.
Thank you. The reality is that the Productivity Commission actually suggested that those infrastructure charges be charged at the occupation certificate, not the construction certificate phase, because it would save thousands and thousands of dollars in developers actually building those houses. So these are the kind of measures that we have tried to ensure are part of our planning system so that houses are cheaper to build, so that they're cheaper to buy. But as I said, this is just one part of a range of measures that can be used to make housing more affordable and policy better in New South Wales.
Thank you. The Honourable Jackie Munro has moved private members' business item number 313. The question is the motion be agreed to. All those in favour say aye. Aye. The contrary no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.